On today's video, we're going to be looking at 9 of the best Pro Controller alternatives that you can get for your Nintendo Switch. Hello and welcome to Console and Tech Accessories, and as we said in the introduction today, I'm going to show you 9 of the best Pro Controller alternatives that I think you can get. Now, I've got to tell you the reason why I picked these 9 is there's a couple of reasons. One, the wireless must work with the Switch and the Switch Lite. I've got 2 wired versions on the list. They obviously won't work with the Switch Lite because it needs to be plugged into the dock. And also, I've been using these controllers for a few months now, minimum. So I know that all of these on these lists don't suffer from drift, haven't had any connection issues, haven't had any problems whatsoever. So I know that all of these 9 on this list are well worth picking up. I'll leave a link down below if you want to see any of these controllers. I think all bar about one of them I've done an in-depth review of. If you go and have a look down, I'll link down where you can go and have a look at that video. And I'll also have a link down below of where you can purchase any of these. And I'll stick around to the end because I'm going to pick one of these as my winner. So in no particular order, apart from the end one, which will be my favourite. First up, we're going to be looking at this one. Okay, so this one is a generic brand of Amazon. Okay, if you've been onto Amazon and put in Switch controller, you will have seen one that looks like this. There are loads of them, all different varieties. This is kind of like your basic one. So this one has rumble, it has gyro, and there are versions that have turbo on them. This one doesn't have turbo on it, but there are versions that look exactly like this. It takes 2 to 3 hours to charge, and it lasts about 10 hours. So I'd say on average for a third-party controller, 10 hours is about right. And you're looking at about $30-ish, £22, sorry, ish, depending on which kind of flavour you get with the extra bits on it. And the reason why I picked this is an absolute workhorse. We've had this for months, and my kids have it. They've thrown it around, and it still works brilliantly. The only issue I have is the triggers are a bit spongy. They're a bit naff, if I'm honest. But apart from that, a workhorse. If you want a controller that's going to last you for a long time, because this one has lasted me for months, and it's been thrown around and beaten around, then at £22, I'm not that bothered. It's an absolute workhorse. It's a beast. So get it. Because it's got the USB-C. It's got everything that you need on it. Brilliant. Okay, so that's number 1. And then moving on to number 2, I've chosen this one. This is the Nook controller from Stoga game. I'll leave a link down below where you can see the video on it and where you can purchase it. And this will set you back $40 or £40. It has rumble. It has gyro. And it also has the 3.5mm aux in there. Charge time a couple of hours, and you're looking at getting around 5 to 8 hours worth of play out of it. And the reason you're only going to get 5 to 8, which is a little bit less than most controllers, is because it's a smaller controller. The battery is going to be physically smaller. So if I bring in number 1 again, you can see quite how small it is compared to other ones. I have adult hands. I haven't got an issue with this. I've never had an issue playing with it. I don't think that's a problem for me, and certainly for kids and Animal Crossing fans, you're going to love it. I think it looks superb. That's why it's on the list, because I just think it's such an original controller and it looks great. And as I said before, I've never had any issues with it. No drift, no nothing with it. Really, really nice controller. Go and have a look at that if this one takes your fancy. Okay, so that's number 2. And then number 3, we're going to go on to our first wired controller. So this is the PDP Faceoff Controller. There's no way you're going to miss that, and they're really comfortable to hold. Decent amount of grip on them as well. So if you want to go and have a look at my detailed review, go and have a look at that and where you can get it as well. And I think this is a superb one if you want a wired controller. The only issue is this won't come off. Okay, so the cable is stuck on, but it's a 3-meter cable. It's huge. 3.5 in there. You can adjust the volume, and the pièce de résistance is you can take off the faceplate there, and you can change this to any one you want and customize it to how you want it to look. Okay, fantastic. So if you want a wired controller, Again, the buttons and the things feel all fantastic. Really, really pleased with this controller. And it's a good alternative if you want a wired controller. And as we said at the beginning, it's only going to work with the Switch. It's not going to work with the Switch Lite because this needs to be plugged into your dock. Okay. So number four. Number four is the only one I don't have on my list. And the reason I don't have it on my list is I've given it away. There was someone who contacted me and they wanted a Switch Pro controller. And I've given it away to somebody that I did know, and they were far more needy of a alternative Pro controller because, heck, I've got 8 of them. So I gave them that away. So I don't have it on me, but I will tell you about it. It's £30, around $30. It has rumble, it has gyro. It also has NFC, which is very rare for a third-party controller. And it also has turbo. And it's adjustable rumble, charge time of about 3 hours, and again, about 10 hours worth of play out of it. So about average. And that's a really, really good controller. And again, just to reiterate, it has NFC, which not many do, so you can stick your amiibos on it. Okay, going on to number 5. Now, this is the first of our Power A controllers. So, we're going to be looking at these next. So this is my trio of Power A controllers. We're going to be looking at this one first. So this is the Power A, and we're going to be calling this one the Power A AA battery one. Now this is going to set you about $50 or £40. That's quite a lot. Okay, and it only has gyro. It doesn't have rumble. It doesn't have NFC. It doesn't have turbo. It doesn't have any of those other features. It does, however, have these cool paddles here, so you can set these buttons to whatever you like. And the reason why I've got 3 here is I wanted to tell you because some people like wired, some people like wireless. These two are wireless, but with this one you have to use batteries, okay? So you have to use AA batteries to put in the back there. Some people really like that, some people don't want to do that, but this one you have to. And you can set the paddle, these buttons here, to whichever of the face buttons that you want. So this is a really nice controller. I think the Power A, I've heard some people complaining about the Power A. I haven't had an issue with any of these. I've been using these loads and I haven't had a problem with them at all. I really like them. It's just whether you want AA's or not. And then, speaking of that, we're going on to number 6, which is the Power A, let's call it the USB Type-C version. Again, this is £50 or around $40. And again, it doesn't have rumble, it doesn't have NFC, it doesn't have turbo or any of those features. It does have the paddles, which is nice, exactly the same as this one, but this one doesn't have the AA's on it. It just has the micro USB in there. But the best bit about this is it takes quite a few hours to charge, but you can get 30 hours of play out of this, which smashes any of the other controllers, apart from the wired, for obvious reasons. Any of the wireless controllers, it smashes 30 hours. Brilliant. And it looks fantastic as well. This is the running Mario version. Because then we've also got this one. So number 7. This is we'll call this one the Power A wired. This is dirt cheap. This is $20 or around £20. It has none of the features though, but it does look cool. It's got Yoshi. There's loads and loads of themes. Loads of themes you can get for this one. So I think if you don't mind a wired one and you want something that the kids want, like I've got a Yoshi here, do Mario, Zelda, they do all sorts. This is a really good one. The only issue I have is it's micro USB in there and it needs to be a small cable. You get one with it, so it fits in there nicely, but if you're like me and I've lost it, you're going to need another micro USB that fits into that hole, because there's a deep hole in there that it needs to fit into. So you might struggle to get a cable for it. But having said that, because this is quite an old controller, cheap, big thumbsticks, bit of a workhorse, still works after, I mean I've had this, gosh, years, and it still goes, and it looks really cool as well. So there's your Power A triple, there's your USB, your AA, and your wired version. Something for everyone in there. Okay. Number 8 is this one. This is a really cool looking Pro Controller alternative. So it looks like a Pro Controller for starters, and it's really nice. It's by Easy SMX. It's $20, £22, nothing. It has rumble, it has gyro, But that's about it, and you're going to get a couple hours charge. You're going to get around 8 to 10 hours worth of play out of it. So it's not too bad, on average, I would say, for a third-party controller. And I think this is really nice. And it has these really cool LEDs. Go and have a look in the video below for my full description, for my full review of it. I think this is really nice because it has these really cool LEDs here. So as a basic kind of just a pro controller, one of the cheapest, absolutely fantastic. Okay, so that's number 8, and then going into number 9, this is my pick of what I think you should be getting if you're looking for a pro controller alternative. And it's this. Okay, so technically not a pro controller, but it can be. So these are actual Joycons, and they are superb. They are from Beboncool. I've done a video, and go and have a look at that, so you can go through everything it has on it. But essentially they're $40, although you can, if you look around, you can get them for usually around $30 on Amazon, and £40, although on the sale you can get them down to £25, and at £25, an absolute steal. It has rumble, it has gyro, it doesn't have NFC, it has turbo, and it also has macro as well, so you can program it to do buttons without you actually pressing anything, so it can do macros. Go and have a look at explain it more in the video. And I think these are brilliant. So it's not a bad size, so let's get back this one. So it's around the same size as every other controller when it's on this middle bit, but it's also Joy-Cons as well, and they are really, really comfy as Joy-Cons on your Switch. So this can be a Joy-Con and it can be a Pro Controller. I think this is the best of both worlds, and I think instead of getting a Pro Controller, you need to be getting these, because I think these are fantastic. I've had no issues with them whatsoever, and it's got a lot of rave reviews. These can be all used individually, so if you want to play Mario Party, you can play it like that. They all charge individually USB-C there, and you can use it on and off the Switch, and it works with the Lite and it works with the Switch. If you're going to get a Pro Controller alternative, I seriously suggest you get these two Joy-Cons. I can't rate them highly enough. I think they are fantastic. I use these as my go-to Joy-Cons on my Switch, more than these, because these aren't particularly uncomfortable. They're okay. It's just these are super comfortable. So you have the best of both worlds. You have them on your Switch handheld, and you can have them off there as an alternative Pro Controller. Can't rate these highly enough. Okay, so go and have a look. Go and have a look at the video where I break these down a lot more and go through them a lot more, because it's really interesting what these are all about. I really like this. And go and have a look, see if you can find out the best price for them, because if you can get them for $30 or £25, it's an absolute steal. In the US, you can get them in different colours like black and red and stuff. But in the UK, the green and the pink are the most obvious ones. Okay, so that's my look then at the top 9 Pro Controller alternatives. For your Nintendo Switch. Which one is your favourite? Which one are you going to get? Let me know if you've got any of these, and let me know if you think there's one that I've missed. Like I say, I've been playing with these all for months, so that's why I've picked these, because I know these are quality and they all stand the test of time. So I don't think there's any issue with any of these. If you're looking for a decent controller, pick any one up. Go and have a look down below where you can pick them up and some more in-depth reviews. If you like this, please do stick a thumbs up, and do subscribe if you're new around here. I've been Console and Tech Accessories, and until the next video. Bye bye.